Hi everybody, welcome to another exciting stream on Bowtie Gaming 14. First we got obligatory update first, yay. Like I said, it's like even when you check 5 minutes ago, they're still like, this is when we're doing the update specifically, thanks Nintendo. I mean, I get it, because like, Switch 2 is going live in a day or two, I get it. Yeah, officially this will be sort of a retro console in 2 days. I say sort of because there's technically cross-platform games that are coming out this whole year. So yeah, in terms of what we're doing today, so since we reached the charity goal, we are doing a special run of Xenox. It's like we're gonna be going through the entire story again, but I am skipping pretty much everything that's unless it's mandatory to beat the game. So we're going through the entire story. I was kind of inspired after, okay, let me back up. Spoilers will be discussed this entire playthrough. This is your warning. So now that we played the entire game, spoilers will be discussed. Okay, so now that Al exists, I'm like, now that we got the Pizza Princess, I'm like, man, I want to do a pizza run of this. So we're going to be playing as Peppino Spaghetti on his quest to bring pizza to Mira and eventually other planets because Mira goes bye-bye. So yeah, I'll be playing through the entire story, any mandatory side quests or affinity quests, with a couple of exceptions, and those are the ones that give the arts required to make the overdrive combat less of a pain in the butt. So we're going to be recruiting Fog for Ghostwalker, Nagi for both his arts, and Celica for 0-0. Other than that, I don't plan to recruit any other characters besides the ones you just get for mandatory plot progression, which, yeah, it turns out with this version, because of how it plays out, Gajarg is actually a party member that in this version canonically will appear, at least in your party. I may also recruit Liesel, at least on the first one, just so we get access to the Hraskfelg. I'll see. Because that thing is super useful, especially since I might not have access to the prog areas in this run. So yeah, if you want to see the full playthrough, go watch the main playthrough on the YouTube VODs. Just wrapped it up the last week or so ago. Like I said, this is still going to cover the entire story, just it's cutting out a lot of the side quests. Of course, now we know what they are. The fact that each of those is a ganglion ship that, like, Luxar's on is kind of insane. Yeah, of course, now we know, like, what the other race is.
July 2054 AD. The Earth was caught in a great battle between unknown alien forces. Their weapons were terrifying and powerful beyond human reckoning. Our planet was overwhelmed. Its surface reduced to ash and rubble in the blink of an eye.
Yeah, like, I don't know if they show that in the regular version, but it's like, yeah, you can actually see Void fighting at this point.
The coalition government knew the war was coming. In response, they prepared the Earth-Life Colonization Project, Project Exodus. Interstellar arcs were launched all across the planet, from every major city on Earth. Bravely, we leapt from our cradle, our home for the last 4.5 billion
But yeah, the
years.
other thing is this is officially the 3-year
Most
anniversary of the
arcs
channel,
never even
so
made it out of the atmosphere.
yippee, and on to year
Only a small
4.
handful managed to escape. Among them was our ship, the White Whale. After leaving Earth behind, we spent 2 years wandering in space, searching. We thought of ourselves as the lucky ones, the pioneers who would settle a new world. But our past caught up with us, literally. The alien blitz was unrelenting. If not for the efforts of a lone hero,
Go
we
Al!
would never have survived. Our ship took heavy damage. We lost control. With
Have
our
fun
flight
being in a
systems
void
down,
for several months,
the
Al.
white
We'll see you
whale
in
was
half a
pulled into
year.
the gravitational fields of a nearby planet. Its hull shattering and breaking to pieces as we plummeted toward the surface. Since then, 2 months have passed.
Alright, time for Peppino Spaghetti to take front stage. Yeah, canonically, we are making him very short because he is very short. Try to make this as accurate as possible, relatively speaking. Because obviously you can't do, like, full-on cartoon eyes for this.
All right, it's on. Hey. Easy peasy. Game and set.
Hey there! Let's do this thing!
I also didn't realize Kaspar's voice actor was in this too, wow.
I'm off balance. There's no substitute for real combat.
Victory is ours.
Rock and roll.
Game and set. Huh?
Here I come, sunshine.
Commence pizza time run.
Attention, external access confirmed. Disengaging stasis in 10 seconds. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Releasing hatch. Please stand clear.
Hey there. Looks like you're all in one piece. Careful. Just take it nice and slow, okay? Your senses will need time to reactivate. Your pod is the only one around that landed intact. Good thing I found you. My name's Elma. You want to tell me yours? You don't even remember your own name? It must be the stasis hangover. That's not good. Just try and focus, all right?
Enter Peppino!
Good, there we go. What else you remember? It'll come. In the meantime, I'll get you up to speed here as best I can. How are your limbs? Can you move?
No, I'm feeling awful.
We'll take it easy while you shake the stasis out of your system. One step at a time, all right? First things first, you'll be needing a weapon.
That's not
go.
pizza.
All right, let's get going.
Why do I need a weapon? Elma! Prologue. Yeah, and then kind of because it's going to be a condensed version of the game, I'm also skipping any tutorial discussions unless it's like something that didn't get discussed in the other, the main one. Which I doubt that because I know we pretty much went through every tutorial as far as I'm aware.
Most of the white whale's life pods didn't survive the crash, like this one. You're one of the lucky few. Right. You don't even remember the white whale, do you? You know, the L-002? The ship we escaped Earth on? You remember Earth, right? Planet Earth. Your homeworld. Or rather, it used to be anyway.
What happened to my pizzeria?
Unfortunately, it was caught in a battle between two alien forces. And destroyed.
Nope!
Ring any bells? Don't feel bad. It's one memory I'd like to forget. I know. It's been following me for a while now. I didn't want to alarm you, but we're going to need to defend ourselves. You up to the task?
You'll remember the day you fought me.
Let's see what you've got.
Why do I have a gun?
Flame grenade!
Appendage destroyed. Move in and strike. You're not half bad. There's plenty of work back in the city for someone who knows how to handle a weapon, you know.
You're like, oh, I just want my pizza.
Hey, I'm not trying to pressure you into anything, alright? It'll be your decision in the end. But anyway, we can talk more details later. For now, let's keep moving.
Well, ain't that a kick in the pants?
The rain's starting to let up, just in time for sunrise. Follow me. I promise you're gonna love this. Pretty wild, huh? They're all indigenous, as far as we can tell. We need to learn to play nice with these guys if we're going to try and coexist together. We call this planet Mira. You won't find it on any star chart. But it's our new home. Recognize the habitat unit? That's where we're headed. Watch yourself. That first step's a doozy. We can jump if you like. You could handle the fall. But the indigents down there are another story. Some big, some mean, all nasty. Given our options, the high road here would be the safer way to go, relatively speaking. That said, whichever way you want to go, I'll follow your lead. You decide.
Strike first and strike hard.
Now it's my turn!
Flame grenade!
Light! Slinger! Appendage destroyed. Move in and strike! Slide, guys! Move in and do some damage.
I'm hurt.
Shadow
Pretty
strike!
bad. Now let's go find an opponent that's worth our time.
Nice work.
You will remember the day you fought me.
Let's see what you've got.
Assault hammer!
Shadow
Got it.
strike!
Now blast him to bits!
Appendage destroyed. Move in and strike. Slide! Slinger!
Always pays off. Here I come, sunshine.
Engaging. Lay down some fire for me.
Assault hammer! I'm punching a hole in
Extreme
you.
edge!
Chrome armor!
Appendage destroyed. Move in and strike.
So yeah, I'll just fight enemies as we kind of make our way there, and once we hit level 5, I know we'll be equipped to take on the boss for the tutorial, so then we'll fight the Grexes.
Now, follow with a real bone crusher.
Now it's my turn.
All right, I'm ready to unload on him. Flame grenade! Opportunity knocks. Topple him with gunfire.
I'll topple him. Extreme edge!
Now let's go find an opponent that's worth our time.
Nice work.
Here I come, sunshine.
They're off guard.
Here I come, sucker!
We'll knock them off balance. Got him.
Give
Now
him the
blast him.
pepperoni special.
Extreme edge! Shadow strike!
Chrome armor!
Slide!
Let's go find
Destroyed.
an
Move
opponent
in and
that's
strike.
worth our time.
Nice work.
Attack from range.
Target
Follow me.
is
Chrome armor!
Extreme edge!
All or nothing.
Nice. Move in and do some
Assault
damage.
hammer!
Shadow strike!
Flame grenade! There's no substitute for real combat.
Nice work.
Yeah, I'll wait to collect a bunch of stuff until we get the Skell in chapter or post chapter 6.
Didn't have to be like this.
Chrome armor! It's on now! Close the distance! Assault hammer! Flame grenade!
Now, my turn.
Slit!
Light splinter. Nice. Move in and do some damage.
Slit!
Upper hand.
Chrome armor! Push back!
Touch me up.
Slit!
Shadow strike.
Flame grenade!
Early bird.
Slit! Yes! Now tackle it up close!
Slide knife.
Let's go
Move
find
in and
an
do some damage. Nice work.
Here I come, sunshine.
Engaging. Lay down some fire for me.
I'm punching a hole in you. Assault hammer!
Light splinter.
Now blast him to bits! Slit! Chrome armor! Slit!
Early bird.
I need healing!
I should heal up first. Slide back. Move in and keep the rhythm going.
I've been...
Shadow strike. Muscle neutralized. Switch to close range combat.
Yes! Now tackle it up close! Chrome armor! Slit!
Slide knife. Move in and do some damage.
All or nothing! There's no substitute for real combat.
Nice work.
Strike first and strike hard. Assault hammer!
Now it's my turn.
Slit!
Slide knife.
Chrome
Move in and
armor!
do some damage.
Flame grenade! Slit!
Slide. Appendage destroyed. Move in and strike.
All or nothing! Yes! Now tackle it up close! We got company! Chrome armor! Slit! Looks like we'll have to bust our way out of this!
Got it.
Assault hammer! Flame grenade! I'm hurt. Pretty bad.
Shadow strike. Slot tough. Touch me up.
I was like, time to bail.
Attack from range.
Target
Follow
in
me.
sight. Nice. Move in and do some
All or
damage.
nothing.
Shadow
I can push
force.
back. Assault hammer.
Early bird. I'm off balance.
Flame grenade. Slit. Yes. Now tackle it up close. real
My
bone
turn.
crushing. Opportunity knocks. Toughness, gunfire. Slick!
Fly knife!
Flame
Move
grenade!
in and do some damage. Scream edge!
Now let's go find an opponent that's worth our
True on
time.
any front.
You'll remember the day you fought me.
Let's see what we got.
Go on!
Move in and do some damage.
All or nothing.
Appendage destroyed. Move in and strike.
Flame grenade! Slick!
Early
Yeah!
bird.
Now tackle it up close.
Slide. Flicker.
There's no substitute for real combat.
Nice work. Looks a lot bigger up close, doesn't it? And this was just the habitat unit. The white whale was one hell of a ship. Until it all came crashing down, at least. That's the west gate. It's closed off now for security reasons. But we've repurposed a freight elevator that will get us inside. Grexes. And they're riled. We can't leave them roaming here, not this close to the gate. We're gonna have to take them down. You ready?
Here we go.
Lay down some fire.
I'm punching a hole in you.
Roger. Roger. Slide. Flicker.
Assault hammer. Slick. Chrome armor. Ah, I need
should go
healing.
first.
Slick. No resting.
Now,
Step in
my
and
turn.
face the next one.
Slide knife.
Flame
Move in
grenade.
and do some damage. Muscle neutralized. Switch to close-range combat.
Yes. Now tackle it up close.
Early bird. That put a dent in them. Move in and keep the rhythm going.
Got it. Let's pack some more punch.
It's a shame we had to settle near so much wildlife. Luckily, some species aren't so hostile, but they aren't necessarily friendly either. I've come to learn that there's a fine line between self-defense and provoking a fight. We need to walk that line. All right, let's head in. Who knows? Maybe seeing the inside will jog your memory.
Bye, Elmo. Pizza time waits for no one.
Well, here we are. Not too shabby, huh? For a giant beached spaceship, anyway. But, like it or not, this place is our home now. We took the name from the city it was modeled after back on Earth. We call it New Los Angeles. Welcome to NLA.
Welcome to more Xeno X Pepino Run.
And so it was that another survivor came to join our band of refugees.
Thus we hear the story of a man determined to make a third pizza joint in this town.
We resolved to forge a new way of life here on Mira. Come what may.
And to rescue the pizza princess.
New LA was our beautiful lie to ourselves. Truth is, we were adrift, heading into the unknown. Our native home was gone, swallowed in a shroud
And deal with the
of light.
noise, he's off
And
somewhere.
our future was uncertain. We had no
Although,
idea
unbeknownst to
what fate
him, he has
was
6
for
months to
us.
find the city, otherwise he's going into the void.
Only that we had to keep living in order to see it.
How about a quick tour of the facilities to refresh your memory? Let's start with your living quarters. Follow me.
Brave citizens of New Los Angeles, good day. This is your Director General, Maurice Chausson. Today, I once again come to you with news I am truly delighted to share. Yesterday, we repatriated 10 more White Whale crew members. These fellow pioneers will rejoin our ranks as citizens of NLA, bringing with them skills and know-how that will bolster our ability to survive and indeed flourish here in our new home. This, of course, is only the latest success in our continuing efforts.
Director
As
General?
part of my
Since
initiative
when?
For the rescue and recovery of
2 days ago,
all our
ma'am.
brothers and sisters, I stand here truly humbled and
From
grateful.
political aid to director general in just a few weeks. At this rate, he'll be emperor by next month.
And a better tomorrow.
Irina? Gwyn?
Nice work out there, ma'am.
Who are you people?
Right, introductions. Irina Akulov, Gwyn Evans.
This one of the survivors, Colonel?
The survivor. I only found a single pod intact at Starfall Basin.
Wait, what? What happened to 10 more crew members?
Come on, seriously? Shosan was never one to let the truth get in the way of a good speech. Still, every last survivor counts. You can call me Irina. I'm with the Interceptors.
Me too. Same division. You can call me Mr. Evans. Or just Gwyn.
The three of us were in the Coalition forces together. Specifically, the Special Operations Heavy Armor Training Unit, aka the Skeleton Crew. I was a colonel and Irina a lieutenant. Gwyn was a more recent recruit. Of course, I keep telling them we don't need those old ranks anymore now that we're here.
You're still Colonel to me, ma'am. No reorg will ever change that. And that's not about chain of command either. It's about respect. You've earned it.
And the award for best ass kiss goes to...
He's like, I will punch you.
Well, I'd remind you both the ma'ams aren't necessary if I thought you'd listen.
All right, ma'am. We should be getting back to work. Until next time, Colonel.
Right. We should be going too. The administrative district isn't far. That's where you'll be calling home. For now, anyway.
Chapter 1 NLA. A new city to explore. And with that, Peppino starts looking around for possible places to put his pizza restaurant. It's the new pizza tower. He's like, not again. I swear if Pizza Face is up there, I will punch somebody. Probably Pizza Face. There's the noise. We found him.
Damn it!
Look, I know what exhaust smells like, and it was exhaust in the cockpit. Just check the ductwork, would ya?
Oh, I'm checking. I just seriously doubt. Hey, look at that! The intake exhaust bypass is reversed. Oh man, it's a good thing I caught that.
You caught that? You're the one who cleared me to fly!
Everything okay? It's not like you to flub a flight check, Lynn. Good thing you had a rugged pilot like Doug at the controls.
Oh, hey Elma. How'd it go out there? And would this be one of the you-know-who's? Cool. I'm Lynn Lee Koo, mechanic and top all-around fix-it gal for Blade.
Is that safe? I don't know if that's safe.
Yeah. Well, that, doesn't usually happen.
We know it doesn't, Lynn. Look, I know what you're thinking.
She thinks that. I don't know
Believe
about me. I've
young
only
as she
known her
may
for
look,
5 minutes.
And yes, she is young. She's actually one of our top talents.
Most of the time, that is. Most of the time.
Anyway, you guys heading back to the barracks?
Yeah. Why do you ask?
As long as you're here, why don't I take you on the transport? It's a great way to see the city. I'll give you the grand tour.
That sounds like a great idea.
Alright, Doug, I think that'll be all for today. You can clean up here and dock the Skell.
What?
Don't mind the exhaust. I'll take care of it tomorrow.
Don't mind it? Wait, why am I cleaning up your mess in the first place? Lynn! Lynn!
Poor Doug. See you later, Doug.
Not bad, huh? You can see everything from up here.
It beats walking, that's for sure.
The best way to see NLA. I never get tired of this view. It's like a different city every time.
It's certainly come a long way in the last few weeks. There's still so much to be done.
One day at a time.
Speaking of which, we don't really have time for a full pleasure cruise here. Why don't you give us the express tour, Lynn? Just the highlights.
Okay, you got it. New LA is divided into 4 districts. We departed from the industrial district, where Doug and I were conducting the flight test. It has food production, scale
He's like, ooh,
development,
food production.
industries and stuff.
It's also where the West Gate is located, remember? Expect to pass through there fairly often. The only other gate out of the city is in the administrative district, but I'm skipping ahead.
Next is the commercial district.
Pizza!
Restaurants, galleries, cafes, clothing, groceries, you name it. It's a veritable shopping paradise.
The CD is the closest thing to a downtown we've got. It can actually get pretty crowded sometimes.
Well, by NLA standards anyway. Day or night, the best and only bargains on the planet. To your right, the residential district. Housing, housing, and more housing. Well, plus a nice park and the cathedral.
If you're ever looking for quiet time alone, or want to relax and unwind with a good book, that's the spot.
Right? The park is my favorite place to just zone out and chill. And last but not least, our destination, the administrative district, the nerd center at the heart of NLA. Note the distinct dual-level structure here. The upper level holds our administrative tower, home to Blade HQ and the government. Not to mention Armory Alley as well as the barracks where we live. The lower level there is a hangar complex for Skell maintenance and repairs. And this concludes our tour. We will be landing shortly.
Thanks, Lynn. We'll save the rest of orientation for once we're back at the barracks.
Enjoy your stay in the administrative district, and thank you for flying Linley Airlines.
Right. Let's get you over to the barracks. Then I should file my report. They'll be eager to hear the details on how I found you, I'm sure.
Well then, we better not keep them waiting. The barracks are pretty close, actually. They're set up just behind the giant blade tower here. That road there wraps around the left side and leads right to it.
We'll pass through Armory Alley, but let's not get sidetracked, okay? We can check it out later.
He's like, yeah, now I need to find contacts to make my pizza.
And here we are, the Blade Barracks.
Why am I in the military?
yourself our
Well,
guest
then
until
again,
we
that
finish
does
getting you
fit because
registered.
canonically
Feel free to
Papina
come
was in
and
the
go as you
military.
please.
Wow, this really lines up. Jeez. I'm focused on
Is
pizza.
there a problem here? So, you must be the latest rescue.
Secretary Nagi!
Miss Koo. Chipper as always, I see.
What can I say? Pep is my middle name.
I ran into Doug Barrett on the way here, and he didn't seem quite so upbeat. Anything about today's flight I should know?
No, nothing to worry about.
Good. Be sure it stays that way. More importantly, Elma, you found another one. Excellent work out there.
Just doing my job, Mr. Secretary.
Now, as for officially registering our new citizen here,
Why don't we talk inside? There's a lot of ground to cover. It could take some time.
ah yes, of course. Forgive me. You must be weary from the stasis and your journey back to us. Please, after you.
I'll put on some tea.
Allow me to formally introduce myself. My name is Kentaro Nagi. You may remember me as Captain of the White Whale, but now I serve as Secretary of Defense here for New LA. The provisional government has charged me with keeping the peace, so all military and police matters fall under my jurisdiction.
He's also my superior officer. And he'd be an excellent person to talk to when you're ready to start looking for work.
What about a job right here with Blade? He seems capable.
But my pizza
Let's give it a
parlor!
little more time.
It's like, we
At
need an
least until he
economy
knows enough
first.
to be
Ah,
able to
darn
make an
it!
informed decision. He seems to be suffering from some form of memory loss.
Memory loss? From the stasis?
He could barely remember his name, and nothing at all about what happened to Earth or the White Whale.
I see. Though, come to think of it, the entire lot of us have only been on this planet for what, 2 months? It shouldn't take very long to get caught up.
My thoughts exactly.
Well then, where should we begin?
It started at the end, 2 years ago. The end of Earth. The casualty of a battle between two hyper-advanced alien civilizations. Their technology and weapons were beyond our comprehension. We were like infants, naked, powerless. The Earth was reduced to ash and blown away.
I still wonder if I hadn't been there. If maybe all of this could have somehow been avoided.
No one can know that, Elma. What we do know is without you, there'd have been no Project Exodus, and no escape for any of us. Did it go perfectly? No. But we are here, and we are alive. We survived. So yes, Project Exodus. Once we learned the Earth might be threatened, we needed a plan to preserve all her various life forms. That plan was the Earth Life Colonization Project, otherwise known as Project Exodus.
Those of us who escaped on the White Whale spent over 2 years wandering in space. 2 hard years. But we clung to our mission, find a habitable planet, and settle there. We had no idea how long it would take. Or that the decision would eventually be made for us.
The xenoforms found us again, and, well, it wasn't a happy reunion. Earth wasn't enough. They wanted humanity destroyed. For better and for worse, we were close to planet Mira when we lost control of the White Whale. Inertia and gravity took it from there.
The ship had taken way too much damage to survive entering the atmosphere intact. We had no choice. We channeled all the power we had left to soft land the habitat. Once the dust cleared, we set to work transforming it into its current state. Searching for survivors, establishing Blade, installing the provisional government. Basically, making it a sustainable city.
Blade is an acronym. Builders of a legacy after the destruction of Earth. Quite fitting, I think. It's a relatively new organization. Up there in space, we had plenty of provisions, and a crew trained to handle the limited amount of situations we might encounter in our travels. But of course, all that changed after we lost most of our ship and came crashing down here on Mira. We needed food, water, search and rescue teams, surveyors, police. The list goes on and on. It was too much for the provisional government to manage on its own, so Blade was born. The idea was to have one central organization with different disciplines to fill these various roles. Its core was pulled from the Coalition military, so it's mostly former soldiers. But fighting isn't our most important duty. Right now, we have a single top priority that supersedes all others.
Finding the pizza
search for
princess?
and
No, something
recovery
else.
of
Ah, darn it.
The Lifehold.
Take a look at this. The White Whale was designed to carry an exceedingly large number of passengers, all of them held in stasis. All housed in a structure called the Lifehold. This is a complete schematic of that facility. Only essential personnel were conscious and active for the journey from Earth. The flight crew, maintenance engineers. And of course, some military so we could defend ourselves if necessary. But the vast majority were in the Lifehold. Are in the Lifehold. With any luck, they're all still there, in stasis, waiting to be rescued. But there's a problem. We now know the Lifehold broke apart along with the rest of the ship when we came down on Mira. What we don't know is exactly where all the pieces landed. Not very comforting, I know. Blade's top priority now is locating the missing units.
Ah, yes. All citizens of NLA are required to register their name, age, and occupation. We also ask you report any personal assets and take a short survey regarding your current state of health. All purely as a precaution. I'm sure you understand. As the caretakers of humanity's survival, we all have certain responsibilities.
And hey, it's not all bad. Registering gets you access to all kinds of public services.
In any case, I'm sure this is all a lot to digest. You'll be wanting some time. Ms. Koo, even I'm tired of hearing myself speak. Why don't you take our guest out for some air? Perhaps a tour of the administrative district.
Yes, sir. Come on, we'll keep this briefing brief.
Chapter 1. Take a guided tour of the Blade AD with Lynn and Elma and learn more about life as a member of Blade. Even though Peppino would rather open a pizza shop instead.
You know, it's not every day we're authorized to let a civilian tour the administrative district.
Yeah. Nagi must really, really want him to join Blade.
The AD is a bit different from the other districts. It's got everything a Blade would need, all in one place, without any extra fluff.
Get a load of that skill. Even the way that they walk is so cool. Oh yeah, work it, baby.
What the heck is that? Also,
This
whoa.
guy gets it. Aren't they just the coolest? Just everything about them. The lasers, the force fields, the bipedal and vehicular transformations. You ever have that dream where you're inside one and it's just transforming over and over and over? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Actually, I don't normally show this to people, but I've been working on some Skell fanfiction. Hold on, I'll just pull it up here 1 sec.
Lynn?
Oh,
No, I wanted to see the fanfic.
Sorry.
Darn Elma.
Originally, Skells were developed as a defensive measure to counter potential alien threats. It wasn't enough to save Earth, though. We were outnumbered and outgunned. Still, just look around you. New LA has gone from basically nothing to this in just 2 short months. We could never have come so far, so fast, without Skell technology. I'd love to get you into one to see for yourself, but it's not that simple.
well, yeah, duh. For one thing, only Blades are allowed to pilot Skells. And even then, you need a license.
These aren't toys we're talking about. They're complex machines with powerful weapons. And they're a precious resource. We only have so many of them to go around. So yes, as you might imagine, the certification process is a fairly rigorous one.
I'm sure you're thinking, where do I sign up for the test? But it's not that simple. They choose you, not the other way around. You can't just walk in the front door and volunteer.
There is some criteria. The details are largely hidden, but basically, HQ only allows the cream of the crop to take the test. Blades who go above and beyond in their duties, and for the people of New LA in general.
So what do you say? If you become a Blade and work hard, I'm sure it'll only be a matter of time before they tap you on the shoulder.
Speaking of work, that reminds me. Why don't we check out the Mission Control Board first? That's where we take on our assignments.
Good call. Let's head on over.
A board we're probably not gonna hardly touch in this run, depending on circumstances.
So this is Mission Control. We don't have a dispatch system yet, so Blades usually choose their own assignments. Everyone comes here and selects from the missions available on the board.
And it's not just official Blade tasks. Anyone with a request is free to post here. Businesses, citizens, whoever.
Yeah, it's basically how anything gets done in New LA, so the board is constantly updating. Just about every Blade will stop by here at some point in their shift.
Welcome on in to more
like our second
Xeno
home.
X Pepino
You'll always
Pizza
find a
Time
number of
Edition.
Blades around here, blowing off steam or browsing mission control for their next assignment.
Whenever I get freed up, I'll stop here first thing to check for any missions I might be suited for.
Likewise. And if the assignment seems too tough to handle solo, that's what the Scout console is for. We should show you that next.
Hey, who's giving this tour anyway? We also have the Scout console, if the assignment seems too tough to handle solo. And Elma just said that, didn't she?
Hey.
Ta-da! The Blade Scout console. When the going gets tough, the tough go to the Scout console. You know, to get tougher.
If you do end up joining us, you'll quickly realize just how important this little kiosk is. A lot of the mission control assignments are too much for any one Blade to handle. They tend to call for multiple members with specialized knowledge or unique skills. This console lets you search for and recruit other Blades to fill those roles for just such an occasion.
You can't spell Blade without team. Sorta. Anyway, awesome, right? So, you ready to join up?
Hang on, Lynn. Take it easy, would you?
Lynn, I want to make a
I'm
pizzeria.
just saying, you'd have to be some kind
Why
of an
haven't we
idiot
joined the
not to wanna join
military?
Blade.
Why?
Or maybe a crazy person.
Oh, and here I thought you might be pressuring our guest.
Apology accepted. Now, how about a little shopping? And I'm not talking about the stuff over in the commercial district. I'm talking about Armory Alley. So this street's what we call Armory Alley.
Blades can requisition equipment from any of the vendors here.
I won't lie, most Blade members face danger on a daily basis. Having the latest gear isn't about impressing your friends. It's a matter of survival.
True enough. And that goes not only for your personal armor and weapons, what we call ground gear, but for Skell equipment as well.
You can even buy whole skells. Can you imagine owning your own skell? Huh? Oh, right, the tour. I think all that's left is the heart of Blade itself. Blade Tower.
Hey!
So yeah, Blade Tower. When we come here, it's usually to stop by Blade HQ.
It's like, we have 6 or
The
7 of
higher-ups, like
them in
Secretary
another
Nagi and
timeline.
Commander Vanda,
Too
will
bad
spend
we're
most
not
of
in
their
that
day here.
timeline, we're in this
The
timeline.
government leaders too. They're based in the tower. Guys
In this
like the new
timeline,
Director
Al will
General
start complaining
Maurice
about
Chasson,
sausage on pizzas instead of pepperonis
Blades
on
sometimes
pizzas.
report to the leadership here after we finish key assignments.
Just a
You'll
subtle
want to
difference.
remember this place.
And that about does it for our tour. So, what do you think? Pretty amazing setup, right? You can't wait to join Blade, right?
Okay, Lynn, seriously, that's enough. We're not here to make a sales pitch. We just want you to have all the facts so you can make an informed decision to join us, or not. Now that you've seen where and how we work, hopefully it made a good impression, but your decision will be just that, your decision. In any case, let's head back to the barracks. Secretary Nagi will be waiting.
Chapter 1 complete!
home.
Yes, very amusing.
Who wants a fresh cup of tea?
Thank you, Ms. Gu, but I can't stay long. I just wanted to pass along a request from your commanding officer.
Commander Vandam? Does it have anything to do with our new arrival?
Correct. He stopped by while you were out on your tour. He said he'll come back, but that I shouldn't wait to ask you.
Here we go. I bet I can guess.
You probably can. He wants to fast-track our new friend here for blade duty with a training assignment.
What in the hell are we waiting for?
As he put it.
The commander does have a way with words.
Makes even my pitch sound smooth.
I explained about the memory issues, but he didn't see it as a problem. And to be honest, given our current need for blade recruits, I can't say I entirely disagree.
Hey, it's not me you need to convince. Blade service is voluntary, remember?
Of course.
Yeah, he's just like, my
I'd never
turn to put him in the
force
spin
anyone.
cycle. Tati's like, I will never
Well,
escape
friend,
in any
What do you
universe.
say? Can we count on you to do your part?
He asks Al, how many universes is Tatsu not in spin cycle? 0. Darn it! But I got a pizza place to open. No!
Ms. Ku, how much do you know about life pods?
Life pods? You mean like from the white whale?
Yes, those life pods. Like the one Elma, a blade, rescued our friend here from. Emphasis on the word rescued. Because if you aren't released, you just sit there frozen in stasis. Forever.
So did you have an engineering question about life pods? Or is this all part of the guilt trip?
I'm sure I have no idea what you're talking about. Now, what'll it be, friend?
But pizza!
Now, you wouldn't want to refuse the people who saved your life, would you, friend?
But pizza! You wouldn't say no to pizza, would you,
said
Nagi?
no, you wouldn't refuse. That's a yes, right?
Okay, I'll accept, but do I get to get a pizza restaurant out of this? Yes, once this is all over. Heck yeah, let's do this then!
I knew you'd make the right choice. Welcome to the organization. Elma, he can start on your team. You'll begin training immediately.
Yes, Mr. Secretary. With pleasure.
All right. Welcome to the Cool Kids Club.
Still, one of the funniest parts of that game is just Nagi just guilt-tripping the player.
Now then, let's discuss that training assignment. We've decided to start you out on a probe installation, just to get your feet wet.
I guess we should back up a bit. Here in New LA, we're using a specialized computer system called Frontier Nav to help us deploy a sensor grid across Mira. A network of data probes that allows us to monitor conditions and collect all kinds of information about the planet.
Expanding that grid and filling in the blind spots is one of Blade's highest priorities. Here, take a look at this. What you're seeing on screen is a terrain map that includes New LA and the surrounding landmass. As you can see, we've divided the area into a series of hexagonal blocks. We call these blocks segments. Together, they form our grid. We determined this was the most efficient pattern, given the limited range of our probes. Based on it, we know exactly where we need the probes to go. Now we just have to install them.
The sooner the better, as far as I'm concerned. The Frontier Nav probes can also detect the general locations of living things in the vicinity, which comes in handy if we need to track down a blade or another citizen.
Yes, quite handy indeed. So for this first exercise, you'll be heading here, to that white segment. Go there, install the data probe, and then come back home.
Got it. East of the city.
In that case, we can take the east gate out of the administrative district, right? We should be there in no time.
I'll leave the details on the data probe installation procedure to you, Elma.
Of course, Mr. Secretary. All right, you two, shall we?
Yeah! Training or not, let's go install the hell out of that probe!
Chapter 2! Install the data probe at the Frontier Nav site and complete your training. Bringing Pepito one step closer to getting his pizza restaurant. Chapter 2, The New Frontier.
Man, am I glad we pulled an assignment to the east of the city this time. It'd be a long walk all the way back over to the west gate.
Hold on. Are we even sure the East Gate will be open? Last I heard, it was still on lockdown from all the high-level indigent activity.
It was, but they just lowered the threat level earlier today. The gates are officially open for business. One of our teams must have gone out there and kicked some furry indigent butt, huh?
I wonder if it was those people.
Wouldn't surprise me at all. Irina's team is one of our best.
How does he know Irina and Gwyn?
We ran into them just before we met up with you. They were on their way out to an assignment.
Well, then that settles it. It must have been them, right? Man, forget this amateur hour probe baloney. Those guys are where the action's at.
I'll try not to take that personally. But enough talk. We've got our mission to deal with. Let's head out.
Roger. That probe isn't gonna install itself. Let's get to the East Gate, shall we?
This is Eleonora, aka the person who's doing sus stuff in the background. But don't mind that. Oh, hi, Yelv, how's it going? That's a lot of dead monkeys.
What the hell happened here? You don't think that one Sinicula could have killed all these simius?
Unless...
Unless... what?
This is bad.
What's bad? I don't follow you.
That Sinicula. It's a tyrant.
Huh? But it looks just like any other Sinicula.
Think about it. Your typical simius is way higher up on the food chain than your typical Sinicula, right? Usually we'd find one simius standing over 3 or 4 Sinicula corpses. But here, the tables have been turned. And I don't see a single trace of any other indigents in the area. There's only one explanation. That Sinicula is a tyrant.
Let me check the Blade Report database. If there's a tyrant this close to the city, someone must have run across it. Bingo. There was a Sinicula tyrant sighted not too long ago. but it was a couple of segments further out.
It could have followed the blade that spotted it back towards New LA, or come here to feed, or who knows what.
That's crazy. I can't believe there's a tyrant right on our doorstep and HQ isn't doing a thing about it.
Well, don't forget why they sent us here in the first place. Frontier Nav's range is still limited.
Oh, right. They couldn't track it if there's no local probe. They must have lost it when it went off the grid.
I could take it.
Whoa, whoa, whoa there, rookie. We're talking about a tyrant here. Do you even understand what that means?
We should probably explain. Tyrant is our term for any indigenous life form that falls outside of our usual threat ranking system. In other words, they're too powerful for us to even measure how dangerous they would be to take on.
And too powerful doesn't always just mean physically strong. If a creature has even a single especially nasty trait, it's classified as a tyrant.
Even some of Blade's very best teams.
So basically, it's us playing as Pepino and basically doing kind of like a minimal run, so to speak. So like all story, a couple of affinity quests to get certain art so that we can tackle the later fights, and then a couple of pizza-related side quests. Like it's minimalist in comparison to like, let's say, a full run of the game. So it's going to be very condensed in comparison, all leading up to the Owl Affinity Quest. That was the main reason I was like, that'd be fun to do. But then I was like, yeah, let's put it towards the charity incentive because I know we just played it. We got this.
Well, alright.
So yeah, long story short, it'll essentially be a more condensed playthrough in comparison to the full one we just did.
If we're gonna settle here on this planet, we're gonna have to get used to dealing with
like pretty much anything food, any food-related side quests or pizza-related side quests. If we're able to tackle it, we will.
Someone else ended up getting hurt because we just left it here.
All right, let's.
Yeah,
do
notably
it.
the pizza murder
push it,
detective
okay?
side
Either
quest.
of
If I'll kind of have to check to see which ones we have to do before
not,
that.
Even just luring it away would be a moral victory.
I know it doesn't even unlock until like after chapter 8 or 9 anyways.
To track it, or any other tyrant that comes this close to the city from now on. Just make sure you're ready before we attack. This will be tougher than anything else we've faced.
Even remotely fair.
Strike first and strike hard. Chrome armor. Assault hammer.
Shadow strike. That move in and keep the rhythm going.
Yeah, normally I'd call this a quote-unquote speed run, but it's not really a speed run. It's just basically I'm trying to figure out what's the minimum required amount of stuff to beat the game and also do a couple of pizza-related side quests. Because I probably haven't done a run in a long time where it's just you do the bare minimum and that's it. I've usually just always done 100% completion, so it's like, yeah, it'd be a bit of an extra challenge to do way less. And have access to less resources and especially less money. And less skills. And also no prog areas. Although I probably will end up doing Liesel's Affinity Quest so we have access to the both versions of the Forest Belt, because my gosh, that thing is useful for field exploration. Not even a joke. Yeah, it turns out this fight is way more difficult when you're lower leveled. Where the heck is Elma's corpse? Elma! Where's Elma? There we go.
Get up and apply yourself.
Sorry. You guys, take it from me. Here.
I'm off balance.
Shadow strike.
Yes. Now tackle it up close.
My turn.
Now follow with a real bone crusher.
Sliding splinter.
Assault hammer.
Suspended
Tackle it up close. I'm off balance.
Early bird.
Flame grenade!
Shadow strike. Nice. Move in and do some damage.
All or nothing.
Yeah, plus this will kind of be a better showcase of how difficult the chapters are normally, like when you're not over-leveled as heck.
This is wearing me down. You're not gonna make it. Upper hand.
Off balance. Roll on, I'm just wrong guy to kill last.
Yeah, it's like it might have to level grind a bit first. Peppino, why are you taking your shirt off? I just feel like it. Why do we associate ourselves with this man?
Watch yourself.
You won't beat me.
Shadow strike. Side slap nice. Move in and do some damage.
All or nothing.
Alright, good job, team.
Strike first, strike hard. I'm punching a hole in you. Home armor. There's no substitute for real combat.
Let's keep it up.
Attack from range. Follow me. All or nothing. Yes. Now tackle it up close. Flame grenade. Opportunity knocks. Top of them. Gun. Now let's go find an opponent that's worth our time.
Hope I didn't get in the way.
Attack from range. Follow me. Assault hammer. All or nothing. Yes. Now tackle it up close. Home armor. Flame grenade. Right. This'll work best. Strike first. Strike hard.
My turn. Hit him again for me.
Got it. Let's pack some more.
Move in and do some damage.
Home armor. Yes. Now tackle it up close. There's no substitute for real combat.
Let's keep it up. How is this even punch first? Ask questions later. Fire carnival!
Home armor. Off balance.
Shadow strike. Got it.
All right. I'm ready to unload on.
Got it.
Assault hammer.
Flame flood!
Appreciate it. Upper hand.
Yes. Now tackle it up
My
close.
turn. Enemy's destroyed. Move in and strike.
Flame grenade.
Sliding slinger. Shadow strike.
Home armor.
Fire carnival!
Side slash.
Concentrate the fire!
Upper hand. Got it.
Flame grenade.
Slide.
Yes. Now tackle it up close.
Now it's my turn. Shadow strike.
All or nothing. Home armor.
Upper hand.
Yeah, night and day difference on that, jeez.
We are awesome!
Nice work, Lynn. You fought well. You did too. Now let's get down to business.
Also,
and
why
install
did you
that
take your
data
shirt
probe.
off?
If we stay
That
here
sure
for
was getting
long,
hot.
there's no
It was a
telling
short
when other
sleeve,
playmates
Peppino.
might show up.
I don't care.
This beam of light indicates
Anyway,
a
data
frontier
probe.
site. It marks the ideal spot to bury the probe.
Okay, the probe should be ready for insertion. I'll just boot it up.
Thanks, Lynn. The top half of the cylinder contains the probe itself. The bottom half is a laser. It dissolves the soil so the probe can burrow to the proper depth. We tried just planting them on the surface at first, but we kept running into problems with the local wildlife damaging the goods. burying them is going to save us all a lot of time and headaches in the long run. We all set?
Yes, ma'am. Whenever you're ready.
Why don't you do the honors? You can launch it right from your comm device. Give it a try.
Gimme, gimme, gimme!
Good. Now we just need to give it a minute to reach the target depth.
And installation complete. We are now online with a solid connection to Frontier Nav.
Excellent. See? At the end of the day, there's really not much to it. The hardest part was calculating the ideal probe locations. We need them spread out evenly to maximize data collection.
Yep, planting probes is easy. And the more we plant, the more likely we are to find missing crew. So anytime you see a probe site, there's no excuse not to plant that sucker.
That'll do it for your training. Let's head back to the barracks and report to Secretary Nagi.
I'm Lao! You know what I did. Okay, they force you to walk back. Onwards!
Great.
Commander Vandam.
Well, now, look what the cat dragged in.
Sorry we missed you last time.
Also, why is he not wearing a
meet you at
shirt?
HQ
Yeah, it's a
now.
long story, sir.
Indeed. I suggested as much. Twice.
And we know how much I enjoy being told what to do. Anyway, I hear you tangled with a tyrant, way out of your league, on a training mission, no less. That was reckless, and goddamn magnificent.
Successfully installed the data probe and completed thy training.
So, Commander, to what do we owe the pleasure of your visit here today?
Well, I can't just ask Nagi to do everything for me. I'd be out of a job.
Hey, I delivered you the new recruit, didn't I?
Yeah, you won the bet. Don't worry about it, all right? I'll settle up with you later. You know I'm good for it.
The bet?
I'm sure I'm needed elsewhere. If you'll all excuse me, Commander.
Well, that wasn't obvious at all.
Huh. Look at you two. I swear, you're like two children excited about a new toy.
Look who's talking. I don't recall ever seeing you file a request to personally train a rescue before.
Is that so odd?
It is before we'd even asked him to become a blade, little miss stick in the rear.
Usually I ask when I don't get your slang expressions, but something tells me to just let that one go.
Enough about that. Where are your manners, anyway? I still haven't been introduced to our new recruit here.
Commander Vandam is Blade's top officer.
In a past life, I was chief engineer on the White Whale. Same idea, basically. Someone has a problem, I fix it. You follow? Huh. Not much for conversation, are you?
So you still haven't told us why you're here. From the look of things, I'm guessing this isn't a social call.
You don't think?
No. So let's cut the crap and get down to business.
Ha! Sounds like you're learning my expressions just fine, Elma. Anyway, first we need Chatty Cathy here to choose a division and pull an assignment.
Gimme!
Whoa there, Itchy Trigger. I know you're just chafing at the bit to run out there and grab the world by its tail, but you need to choose a division first. Once that's all hashed out, we can get into detail about what your first assignment's gonna be.
Pretty much everyone in New LA works for Blade, in one of several different fields. Helping to explore Mira, or to maintain order in the city, or, well, you remember Nagi's speech, right? There are 8 different fields in all, and each one has its own branch within Blade. Officially, they're called divisions. Naturally, you'll want to choose one that best suits your personality and your talents.
Let's start with the Pathfinders. Pathfinder's #1 responsibility
Being
is
sus.
planting data probes.
Oh, and also
like you
installing
did on your
data probes.
training mission. It may not be the sexiest job, but important? You bet your ass it's important. We've only been
He's
on
like,
Mira
I'd
2
bet
months.
Lau's
We don't
ass
know
that it's
jack
important.
about this place. The more probes we install, the faster we can get our bearings here and give ourselves a fighting chance.
We've already detailed how important it is we expand the Frontier Nav network ASAP. So, for the time being, I'll just remind you of the highlights. It helps us keep Blade safe. It helps us keep the city safe. And most important of all, it's the key to locating the missing parts of the Lifehold and recovering the rest of the human race.
Okay, next up, Interceptors. You met Akeloff and Evans, right? Irina and Gwen? This is their division. Interceptors have one main duty. Protect New LA and everyone in it from the wildlife here on Mira. Right now, this is probably our busiest division. Interceptors ride shotgun for the research eggheads, they escort VIPs around, and they help any other idiots who get caught out there with their pants down.
Yeah, like I mentioned in the last playthrough, one of the main themes of the side quests in this game is helping
Remember
idiots
Doug
with their
Barrett,
pants
the
down.
scout pilot conducting the test flight with Lynn? He's part of the Harriers. If you think of the Interceptors as defense, Harriers would be New LA's offense. They specialize in preemptive strikes on clear and obvious threats. But only on clear and obvious threats. They're not meant to go out and just blast any indigene that moves.
And you got your Reclaimers. These guys are in charge of finding the other pieces of the White Whale. Among other things, that is. Including anything of ours left behind after a battle. Skell debris, weapons, personal effects. It can get a bit morbid, frankly, but it's gotta be done. Until we're up and running here on Mira, and have this place completely figured out. Everything we brought from Earth needs to be treated like it's irreplaceable. Also, the search for the Lifehold. That's mostly on the Reclaimers.
Next, Curators. Curators are the first to scout ahead to unexplored territory. bringing back whatever samples they can get their hands on. Fruits,
Murderous
bugs,
is like,
sticks and
why am I the
stones,
poster
you
child
name
for
it.
this? You could have picked literally anyone else.
It's not all picking berries, though. Being a curator also means being the first to encounter unknown indigents.
Next? All right, prospectors. Prospectors do, well, prospecting. They poke around, looking for minerals, resources, and whatnot. Things we need for everyday life here. We packed all the essentials we could on the White Whale, but that won't
Meanwhile,
last
Fog
forever.
is 1000% the poster child for this
We need
division.
to be able to replenish our water and fuel if we want to survive. And sooner or later, we're gonna have to figure out how to replace things from scratch. From the socket on a Skell's knee joint, right down to the frying pan in Lynn's kitchen. Without these guys busting their butts, we'd have no future to speak of.
Thank you, Fog Kristoff. You're
Next
welcome.
up,
I'm just gonna go
outfitters.
back to staring at these ants now.
All of our ground gear and Skell weaponry is developed in conjunction with private arms manufacturers, or AMs.
Meanwhile, Lex is like, ooh, I get to be the poster child for this.
Outfitters are Blade's way of supporting these
I'm
AMs.
winning at life.
They'll seek out anything that might inspire new weapon ideas, and even assist with testing new prototypes.
Finally, the mediators. These are the folks who keep everything hunky-dory with John and Joan Q public. Any problems a civvy has, they come to mediators. Fight with your neighbor? Mediators. Lost cat? Mediators. It's not a division
Whatever
for
sketchy
everyone.
stuff Ornella's
You need to be a
doing,
jack of all
mediators.
trades and a people person. Someone with my charming personality? Probably not the best mediator. But if you got what it takes, it's a clutch role, keeping things cool on the home front.
All right, so I think that's all 8 divisions. Any idea which one you'd like to join? Don't fret about it too much. Whichever you choose, you still have a lot of freedom in how you operate. Mediators can still get out there and mix it up, hunt indigents, whatever. And if a Harrier wants to take a break and settle an argument, that's their prerogative too. To be honest, even though it's sort of frowned upon, you can actually change your division whenever you like. So there's really no reason to stress about this. All right, you ready to choose?
I'm ready.
Yeah, and we're on pins and needles here.
Alright, considering his military background, I will assign Pepino interceptors.
Then it's settled?
All right. Thank God that's over. By the power invested in me, yada yada, you're officially a Blade.
Congrats, and welcome.
I officially knight
I
thee,
know
Sir
you're gonna do
Blade.
great.
Now for the job. Let's get down to brass tacks. Nelson's team has gone missing. Last contact we had, they were installing a data probe out in eastern Primordia. Then, nothing.
Nelson. Pathfinders, right?
Are we talking indigents here or what?
Your guess is as good as mine, but they did have a Skell with them. You'd think they could hold their own, or at least run away.
All right, we're on it. We'll head to their last known location and go from there.
Report whatever you find ASAP.
Of course. Let's move out.
Roger that.
Chapter 3, Search for Nelson's missing team in southeast Primordia. Chapter 3, Builders of a Legacy.
Well, ain't that a kick in the pants?
Welcome on in. Basically, it's this particular run of Xeno X is a charity incentive that, because we hit the goal last Saturday, it's essentially a condensed version of the game where we're pretty much doing the plot any pizza-related side quests, and a couple other random affinity quests like Liesel's, where I just really want the Hraesvelg for being able to go around places and such. So yeah, comparatively, this playthrough will be condensed. Like, I'm not doing all the side quests like last time. It's gonna be mostly the plot. All building up to Al's Pizza Fest at the end of the game.
Hey.
Plus, this will be also a kind of a showcase of how difficult this game is if you're not over-leveled. Because I know I didn't really show that off in the main playthrough, because I just wanted to get through it for kind of efficiently for time's sake. But with this, I'm like, no, I'm actually going to show how difficult it is if you're not over-leveled. Yeah, we're also not going to do too much map exploration, and I'm not going to scout ahead, so we're running to all the locations in real time. Yippee! Of course, before long, we'll have the scale after Chapter 6, so it won't take as long. But then, likewise, we're not going to some of the continents until they become plot relevant for the most part. Time to dodge the giant monkey. Sort of.
Strike first. Strike hard.
No, don't. No. Gonna have to give it the stink eye until it goes away.
Flame grenade.
Nice. Move in and do some damage.
All or nothing.
Upper hand. Shadow strike.
Home armor.
Oh no, we triggered it! I doubt I'm gonna be able to kill this Rex before it insta-kills me. Yep. Curses.
They've seen us. We should weaken them just to be safe.
Shadow strike.
Home armor.
Appreciate it.
Fire carnival.
Flame grenade.
Wild spin.
Upper hand. Shadow strike. This is one more hit.
Looks like someone's a little tipsy. Recuperate. Opportunity knocked. Couple. Gunfire.
I'll take them down.
Now tackle it up close. Home armor.
Hit him again for me.
Flame grenade. Now tackle it up close.
Fire carnival.
I need healing.
Catch myself up first. And get down. Weaken him, lay it.
Now let's go find an opponent that's worth our
Elba, get up!
It gives me power out of it.
Alright, fine, you didn't have to yell.
These wires are backwards.
Strength comes from experience. That's true on any planet.
Good. More practice. Recuperate. Chrome armor. Assault. All or nothing.
Lay down some cut and fire.
I'm punching a hole in you. Slit. Yes. Now tackle it up close.
Flame cloak.
Back.
Appreciate it.
Slide. Flicker.
Stuck nice. Finish the damage. Upper
Flame
hand.
grenade. Slit.
Fire carnival. They've seen us.
Oh no, we're accosted by plant things. No!
This will knock them off
Fire
balance.
carnival.
Now, forward. The real focus.
Wildcat. Toppled them.
Flame grenade.
Side flex. Side flex.
Recuperate.
Upper hand.
Slit.
Slide. Flicker.
Flame cloak.
I owe you one. Shadow strike.
Yes. Now tackle it up close.
Side flex.
Fire carnival.
Slide. Flicker. Damn. I knew we would have heard from them by now.
It was definitely fighting something. But this damage, it's not the usual claw or bite marks.
No signs of the team. If they were eaten, we'd know it. So did they walk away, or were they taken?
Hey, let's go back to the city.
The job's not finished. We have more questions now than when we started. We'll head back once we find some answers.
No!
Until then, we keep looking.
Hold up, Elma. Check this out. I'm picking up an Earth-based IFF signal coming from that direction. It's Pathfinder.
That thing over there, maybe?
It doesn't look natural, does it?
No, it doesn't. It looks like trouble.
And look at this. I'm picking up readings for other life forms too. Multiple signals, moving around inside the structure. Elma, you don't think...
I think you're right. Look at their movements. They're controlled, orderly. They're definitely not wild animals. Now the question is, are they native to Mira? Or are they visitors like us? And if so, from where?
You think it's one of the forces that destroyed Earth?
Let's not jump to any conclusions. It's a big universe out there. Of course, we shouldn't rule it out either.
Should we call this into HQ?
Yes, but not from here. If we're picking up their signals, they might be close enough to intercept ours.
You there! Drop your weapons!
Stay calm. We don't want to provoke them.
Earth aliens! Surrender! Now!
They know about Earth? You may have been right after all, Lynn. Stand down! Did you already forget my first lesson? Fighting is a last resort. Our friends here appear to be able to speak our language. Which means we need to find out if diplomacy is a viable option.
You're right.
We come in peace, and we're willing to negotiate. If you have any Earth alien prisoners, we'd ask the conditions for their release. If you don't, we'll leave you in peace.
No negotiations. No conditions. We have our orders. All Earth aliens must die.
Well then, looks like you've reached an impasse. You asked for it!
Now tackle it up close. Slit edge. Slit edge.
Now, melee attacks. Shadow strike.
Yeah, it's not as bad indoors, but right now there's like wildfire smoke outside of my local area. It's like, ugh.
Side flash.
It's rough out there.
Assault hammer.
Like, it's probably the worst wildfire smell I've ever experienced.
All or nothing.
Fire carnival!
Shadow strike. Side flash.
Possible.
So much for the diplomatic approach. What's the deal with wanting us all dead anyway?
Yeah, I wonder. They did mention they were following orders. Maybe someone higher up their chain of command would be willing to negotiate. Lynn, can you give us an approximate location for that IFF signal?
Let's see. Seems to be originating from that building over there.
Then we'd better get moving. There's no time to lose.
Strike first and strike hard. Recuperate.
Now, my turn!
Full armor. I need healing.
I should heal up first.
Close in!
All or nothing.
Stream edge!
Lay down and cover fire!
I'm punching a hole in you.
Fire particle!
Assault hammer.
Move in and do some
All or
damage.
nothing.
Sun pendant destroyed. Move in and strike.
Because the pug myth.
Now, melee attacks.
All or nothing.
All or nothing.
And keep the rhythm going.
Yes. Now tackle it up
My
close.
turn.
I think I hit my
Upper
limit.
hand.
Heal me. Full
Nice,
armor.
nice. Move in and do some damage.
Recuperate.
Side slash.
Yes. Now tackle it up close.
Move in and keep the rhythm going.
Fire particle! Sorry. Things get fired up.
Sliding. Slender.
Assault hammer.
Shadow
Opportunity
strike.
knock.
I'll take them
Drop
down.
it. Gunfight.
Hit him again!
Full armor.
Side slash.
I need
should heal up
healing.
first. Some nice. Move in and do some damage. Sliding.
Robot is down.
Got better.
Strike first and strike hard.
Now it's my
Fire
turn.
particle!
Sliding. Slender. That's move in and keep the rhythm going.
Not finished yet.
Side slash. Shadow run. Upper hand. Move in and keep the rhythm going.
Let's pack some more punch. Yes. Now tackle it up close.
Now it's my turn. Now, melee attack.
Here I come, sunshine.
Locked and loaded.
They're off guard. Stagger them with a melee attack.
This will knock them off balance. Assault hammer. Flame grenade.
Slide particle later. Shadow strike.
Full armor.
Side slash. Move in and keep the rhythm going. Side slash. Upper hand. Slide. Slender.
Wild down!
Assault hammer. Assault hammer.
Wild
Slit edge. There's no substitute for real combat.
Hope I didn't get in the way.
Didn't have to be like this.
Strike first and strike hard.
Watch me lay in.
Full armor.
Move in and keep the rhythm
some more fun.
Move in and do some damage.
All or nothing. Yes. Now tackle it up close. Full armor. I can push back. Yes. Now tackle it up close. Split edge. Split edge. Flame grenade.
I can't seem to get fired up.
Assault
Move in
hammer.
and do some damage.
All or nothing. Yes. Now tackle it up close.
Side slash.
All or nothing.
Nice. Move in and do some damage. Upper hand. Yeah. You're on top of it now.
All right. I feel the energy. All right. I'm ready to unload on it. Split. Yes. Now tackle it up close.
Move in and do some damage.
Flame grenade.
Shadow strike.
Assault hammer. Split.
Upper hand.
Split edge.
Victory! Alright, time to go take the fight to the prone. As soon as we get past these puges. Never mind, you can just skip over them. Cool! Wasn't sure if that combat was still gonna trigger or not. Tatsu's like, help me, darn it! I'm stuck in potato containers, save me! Stop jumping on container! I'm going to puke! Thank you, friend. Now go kill Prone first. I was gonna say, Tatsu, give us the laughs.
They're all dead. You killed them all. In cold blood.
Fortune did not smile upon them today.
Nelson.
You filthy Earth aliens do not belong on this planet.
You seem more fluent than the others. Are you in charge?
I am called Glennar. I command this squad, Earth Alien. Now it is time for you to surrender.
Hello, Glennar. I am called Elma, and I command this squad. If this planet is your home, we apologize for intruding. We crash-landed here after our ship was damaged in an attack by unknown adversaries. We were hoping we could negotiate a peaceful settlement in exchange for our friends, but...
Peaceful settlement? Your words are wasted on us. All we can promise Earth aliens is a swift death.
Elma.
Right. We tried. Looks like survival of the fittest it is. Fine then. Seeing as you know we come from Earth, I'm guessing there's a good chance we might have a score to settle with you anyway.
Pretty sure they want us dead. Strike first, strike hard.
Now, my turn!
Assault hammer!
Side slash!
Leave it to me.
Free man!
Hey, lay off! Almost down, but not out. Hit harder.
I need
should
healing!
go first. Suck nice. Move in and do some damage.
All or nothing! Rising blaze! Flame grenade! Assault hammer! Flame grenade!
Thermal payload.
Now tackle it up close! Rising blaze!
Fire carnival.
Nice. Move in and do some damage.
All or nothing!
Upper hand.
No resting! Step in and face the next one!
Watch me lay in. Almost down, but not out.
Slide nice. Move in and do some damage.
All or nothing! Yes! Now tackle it up close!
Possible.
And they're dead.
I don't get it. Why would they be so bent on killing all humans?
Who can say? Whatever the reason, this is dire news. We should let the others know ASAP. Let's call it in and head back to HQ for a full debrief.
Roger that. And here I just started to hope we'd finally escaped all this.
Escape! Yes, escape! Tatsu also want escape!
Save me!
Friends! Friends, don't leave Tatsu trapped!
More Xenos? What should we do?
Stay back, Lynn. What do you think, Rook?
I got it. Might be a good pizza ingredient. Head yeah!
Finally! Dance of freedom! Tatsu thanks you!
Interesting. One of the vegetables is sentient.
Talking potato. Huh. I wonder if it tastes different too. I know what we're having for dinner tonight. You don't know it yet, new guy, but I'm a pretty mean cook.
You are mean! Mean and cruel! Tatsu definitely not potato! Tatsu explained this to dumb and smelly Prone when they take Tatsu, but Prone not listen! Prone never listen! On Nopal's rude day, Prone first set sticky feet on Mira. Especially Tatsu. Tatsu witnessed prone abuse firsthand. At this rate, entire Nopon race in danger. Yes, Nopon are endangered species. So really, friends have social responsibility to protect Tatsu from danger.
Uh-huh. What do you think, Elma? Bake or fry?
Wait a minute. The beings who captured you, big brutes in armor, little pointy ears?
Yes, prone!
And they're a more recent arrival here, is that right? They're not native to this planet?
Not native, recent. If friends want more details, friends must promise to protect Tatsu. Only then will Tatsu talk.
Right. Elma, you hold him. I'll peel.
Tatsu will talk! Tatsu will talk! Friends not get Nopon's sense of humor is all.
So if I understand correctly, this is your home world. The Nopon people are native to Mira. And then just recently, the prone show up and quickly hunt you to the edge of extinction. Is that right?
Not just prone. Prone and their nasty, evil buddies. Lots and lots of them.
Their buddies? You mean other alien races?
Other hungry alien races. They all gang up on Nopon. They do horrible, terrible things to Nopon. Someday, Tatsu will turn tables and eat them for a change.
You're safe with us, my dude.
Then you'll help Tatsu? Protect Tatsu? Oh, happy day!
Meanwhile, secretly plotting to make him into a pizza. And Lynn's like, I like how you think, new guy. Tatsu's like, no, no.
He seems harmless enough. And he'd be a good source of information on Mira and the Prone. All right. We can debrief him when we report to Commander Vander. As long as he passes the quarantine scan, we can bring him back to New LA.
Right. Let's get that out of the way. All clear.
Then Tatsu can join friends? Dance of joy! New friends are friendliest friends ever! I know! Tatsu has special thank you gift for friends, for saving Tatsu's life! Tatsu will lend it to friends for free!
Lend? It's not a gift if you don't give it.
Give it away? For always? For free? This would be insulting to friends and to Tatsu. No Nopon merchant worth his salt and pepper could do such a thing. Tatsu is grateful, but Tatsu not insane.
What? It's insane to think if someone saves your life, you might actually show them some real... And he's not even listening.
Friend, do you ever get lost? Tired of bulky maps and flawed memory?
I just go where the wind takes me.
Friend jokes with Tatsu. Joke funny now, but joke not so funny when friend wander into Loafenville Lake on accident. Presenting Follow Ball! Follow Ball is #1 ultimate best super secret must-have Nopon item. If friends get lost out in wild, friends just follow Ball of Light to safety. And now it's yours, for free, to borrow. For now, anyway.
Really? Follow Ball? That's the best name you could come up with for your
It's like, Tatsu, no! I know you just became an adult by Nopon standards, but no!
Fancy name no one understands so friend can feel smart? Now, time for Nopon Dance of Generosity.
I don't know. Is that thing really gonna be all that useful? What if it's a trap, or boom, it just blows up in our faces?
Ah yes, that reminds Tatsu. If Follow Ball get damaged, Tatsu need to charge friends full price, plus restock fee.
So much for Dance of Generosity.
Yeah, thank goodness that's not actually a game mechanic. It's like, I was so nervous the first time I played this game. It's like, oh crap, can we actually destroy this thing and he's gonna charge us up the butt for it? No, that never happened. So I was like, thank goodness. Don't mind this simple Earth alien. I'm just, doing a thing over here.
Damn, losing Nelson's team is a real blow. But the fact we're not the only visitors on this rock is even worse.
They made it clear they want all humans dead. For all we know, they may be related to the forces that destroyed Earth and followed us here.
Wonderful. I'll report this to Secretary Nagi. See if we can't bolster our defenses. Just one last thing. What the bloody hell is this dancing turnip doing here?
He's actually a potato.
Tatsu, not turnip or potato. For last time, Tatsu is not food. Now, on behalf of Planet Mira, Tatsu welcome all Earth people and offer a friendly treaty of friendship.
Yeah, right. Anyway, we were thinking he could be a good source of general intel about the planet. Exactly how useful that'll be remains to be seen.
Oh, don't you worry about a thing. Friend's totally safe now that Tatsu is in town. Tatsu watch over and protect Friends, especially weak, pathetic Lindley with her thin, bony wings.
You mean my arms? Look who's talking. And who said anything about you coming with us? You can stay here, you greedy, annoying little cabbage. I'm sure there's a salad here that could use you.
Tatsu stay here? Friends would leave Tatsu behind?
It's for the best. You said yourself your people are endangered, and the Xenos that captured you might still be out there. You'll be safest here in the city.
Agreed.
Tatsu not agreed? Friends will want Tatsu along. Friends need Tatsu along.
How so?
What? Well, that, of course. This planet have many helpful Nopon that Tatsu can talk to. Other Nopon can share information for Friends.
That might be useful.
That right. Most Nopon not like Tatsu. Nopon can be shy. Nopon can be difficult. Most Nopon never trust Friends or even talk to Friends. But Tatsu? Nopon love Tatsu. Tatsu use smooth talk and winning personality to get Friends good info.
The tater tot has a point.
Uh-huh. More like an ulterior motive, if you ask me.
Tatsu perish the thought. Tatsu intentions are pure, Linley. Pure as snow. Linley intimidated by Tatsu's strength and smarts. But do not worry, Tatsu is true friend.
Strength and smarts, huh? That's really not what I'm worried about here.
All right, then it's settled. Small fry here will accompany
I was gonna say, he's just like, oh, you think Tatsu is sus? How about Eleonora? How about Lau? There's several more sus people in this city.
You're the ones who picked him up. Besides, would you really want to leave him with another team?
Maybe not. Unless we were invited to the meal, I mean.
See? Already getting along like peas and carrots. He can be your charge, Lynn.
Oh, come on, Commander! That's not funny! I've got my hands full out there! This is so unfair. Back me up here, would you, Elma?
I'm sure Elma has no objections.
Right. As you say, Commander.
Done and done. Welcome to Blade, Tater. We'll be counting on you.
Yes, sir! And it's Tatsu. Oh, one thing Tatsu forgot to mention. Nopon are pacifists, so friends need to defend Tatsu, keep extra super safe in any battle. Tatsu, VIP diplomat, after all.
And why am I not surprised? So much for him watching over and protecting us.
Chapter 3 complete! Nelson's team was completely obliterated by hostile Xenos, but you did at least make contact with one friendly Xenoform, a Nopon named Tatsu.
So, Rook, feel like you're starting to get the hang of things?
I mean, it's kind of a lot, plus I still want my pizza restaurants.
Of course not. You just started.
Alright, well, why don't we review the key points then, and I can fill in some details. Blade's top priority right now is to secure missing pieces of the Lifehold. You remember that much. Countless people are frozen in the Lifehold. It's the key to restoring humanity. Up until we ran into the Prone, our biggest concern was that wild indigents would stumble on the Lifehold and damage it somehow. But now there's a more pressing threat, intelligent alien races who are intentionally trying to destroy us. So, our search has new urgency. We need to find and retrieve all of the Lifehold ASAP.
And the best way to do that is by expanding the reach of Frontier Nav. The more probes we can install, the wider we can scan, and the faster we can find bits of the Lifehold.
So our primary focus going forward should be to travel around Mira installing data probes. As many as we can, as fast as we can. I can't stress enough how important this is. You still with me?
Yeep.
Good. Then let's move on to the other pressing threat that Blade has to deal with. Hostile indigens. There's no real delicate way to put this. Any wildlife that poses a clear threat must be eliminated. The Lifehold is our future, but we can't ignore the present. We still have our duty to keep New LA safe. And sometimes that duty requires enacting coordinated strikes to solve problems before they can do real harm.
We're the newcomers here, it's true. And they're usually just out to defend their territory. But sometimes it really is them or us. And we have to make sure it's us. Don't get me wrong. It's not like we run out there and light up anything that moves. Only Blade HQ can choose targets. And they tend to keep them strictly to creatures that pose a significant threat to our survival.
In order to contribute to this cause, operatives are asked to form into squads to take on special missions. These squad missions, as we call them, don't get posted to mission control like your other, more typical assignments. Rather, HQ transmits the details directly to all of us at the same time. Basically, they want as many people to know about them ASAP, so they can be taken care of ASAP.
I'm sure you can imagine, but these missions aren't your run-of-the-mill little fetch quests. It's not the kind of stuff just one or two Blades could handle on their own. That's why squads can have as many as 32 members.
And it's why we ask members to sign up to a squad beforehand. We can't have Blades playing musical chairs whenever this kind of emergency hits us. But just remember, squad missions are not mandatory. You don't have to drop everything you're doing just to take one on. HQ has no way of knowing what every Blade is up to when these missions arise. If you're busy with something else, they'll understand. They need to trust our collective judgment with these things, and, well, so far so good.
And I think that about covers the basics, right?
Search for the missing pieces of the Lifehold. Install data probes to expand Frontier Nav. And take on squad missions when you can to keep us safe. Got all that?
Yep.
Good. We're counting on you.
And briefing adjourned. Thank God.
All right, well, it's getting pretty late, isn't it?
Yeah, let's call it a night.
Oh, Tatsu's so excited to sleep in real bed. Lily can show Tatsu to his room now.
Oh, your room is right over there.
Oh, it looked perfect size for Tatsu. Wait, what? Tatsu know what that is? That refrigerator.
He's just like, yeah, it's that circular thing instead. No, not that either, Lindley.
I guess you are smarter than you look.
Well, Tatsu don't want to brag, but... wait a minute! Tatsu see what Lily did there?
Alright, so we have to survey 15% of Primordia and complete the professional quest before we can progress the plot. Onwards!
Really?
It's Peppino, right? Yeah! Oh good, I've been looking for you. The name's Kirsty, with a K. I'm the operations manager for Frontier Nav. Nagi requested I brief you on the whole Frontier Nav deal. Sound good? Oh really? All that knowledge is swimming around your noggin just because you helped Colonel Elma install one little data probe? Sorry, rookie, there's more to the network than that. So first lesson, there's several different types of data probes that can be installed at Frontier Nav probe placement sites. It's vital you keep the desired application in mind because each type of probe yields different effects. What's more, placing the exact same type and grade of data probe in neighboring sites will amplify the effects of each probe. Now, I could stand here and make you listen to a long, drawn-out explanation, but I think it's better if you just try each one out for yourself. Remember the data probe you installed at an Eastgate plane? Yep. Good, I can see why you're on Nagi's shortlist. So if you ever need to verify its exact location, just access the segment map with your comm device. I'll point out a pair of placement sites in the plains past the East Gate you can chain together on the Frontier nav grid. Head there and install a data probe at each site, okay? But I don't want any probes placed there. You'll need to change them to be the same type. That's how you get the chain amplification effects. You can swap around data probes using your comm device. Just select the corresponding site on the Frontier nav map. If you select it, you can take your pick from all the unused probes you got. You do have unused probes, right? Here, take a few mining probes just in case. They're on me. Don't go spreading tales of my generosity. Your assignment is to travel to the 2 specified sites and install data probes there, to make sure all 3 are set as mining probes. You'll figure it out. It's much clearer in action. Off we go!
Meet the woman who's gonna wreck your life.
I see.
Did you actually...
The probes are installed and setting up as mining probes. Perfect. You work fast. I'm sure it's part of what Nagi sees in you. Tell her it was a walk in the park, say you were lucky it worked out. Alright there, rookie, don't go getting a big head. The stuff should be easy. Try setting your comm device's display to Frontier Nav mode. See the 3 sites circled in red and connected by link lines. There's a 3-site link combo. Boost the effects of each of the data probes by 30%. If you get the link combo up to 5 neighboring sites, the effects will be amplified by 50, and 8 will be 80%. See where this is going? The more data probes of the same type you install in neighboring placement sites, the more efficient Frontier Nav and your related assignments will be. So, think you got the hang of all this chaining data probe jazz? Swift pupils make teaching a pleasure. Well then, I'd say that concludes your first assignment. You can have this research probe as by way of reward. Don't say I never gave you anything. I'll teach you about the next one, okay? We'll start the same way. I'll point you to a new Frontier Nav probe site and you go install it. Then you use your comm device to change it to a research probe. Then on top of that, I want you to go find an unexplored territory known as the Rock Cavern. Good luck. He's like, welcome! Buy my chromer, please. Peppino's like, no, don't buy the chromer. It's a terrible idea.
Strength comes from experience. That's true on any planet.
Alright, back to Kirsty.
I see.
Welcome back, Peppino. The Rock Cavern looks like a pretty mystical place. Folks here in town were blown away by it. You seem curious how they could have seen it without leaving the city. Well, by accessing the research probe you installed, they can view the data it's amassed. For the civilians living here, it's their only way of learning about the outside world. The probes you're installing aren't just a way to track down parts of the White Whale's life hold. Sure, they serve as a source of hope for the future, but they're also helping people today. Hope that underscores just how important your work is. Make sense? Yeep. I like the fire in your eyes. Oh, and you also receive sightseeing profits if a lot of people access your research probes. New blades need all sorts of equipment, a little extra income never hurts. Discovering unexplored territories like the Rock Cavern will get lots of people to access your research probes, so keep an eye out for them. What else am I forgetting? Ah! As you install more probes, Moranium mining should also pick up steam. You may eventually reach the limit of how much Moranium you can hold. In that case, setting special data probes known as storage probes can help. They'll raise the limit of how much Moranium you can store. Let me give you one now as thanks for showing me that unexplored territory I wouldn't have otherwise seen. Quest complete. You learned about link combos and research probes. Just remember, like any data probe, simply carrying around that storage probe won't do you any good. You'll need to put it into actual use, so access your comm device at a Frontier Nav probe site to change the installed probe to a storage probe. Whew, that should cover the basics. When more Frontier Nav assignments come across my desk, I'll be sure to send them your way. Each one spreads our roots into Mira that much further. Alright, then the other part in terms of progressing the plot is surveying 15% of Primordia. So in the time that's left, we'll do a little bit of it, and then that's pretty much where we'll start the next session at. And then onwards to Chapter 4 and beyond. Yeah, I know pretty much to complete the game we're gonna need level 1 affinity with most of the story-based characters, so I'll at least try to make sure their affinity's at that level. Yeah, so the Condit sits at about 7.5, plus I know we gotta go that direction at some point to go to, Chapter 4 stuff. I forgot level 20 Bladdas show up there afterwards, like, oh no! Dodge that stuff. Telethia Annihilator, that implies they beat that thing a couple dozen times, jeez. There's only one of those in this game.
What? They've seen us!
Assault hammer! Rising blip
I'll cover Shadow Strike!
Fire Carnival!
Prepare!
Flame grenade!
Death!
There's no substitute for real combat.
I could have taken them on alone.
Alright, so that brings us up to 12.5%. Yeah, I might have to go from there. There, that'll get rid of the level 60 enemies. At least until night falls again. Alright, so we're at level 1 with Elma, so let's swap out for Gwen. Because we would die in 2 seconds. Yeah, oh right, that was more of the question. Those particular enemies are nocturnal. Thank goodness, though. Then again, I know in some areas you get the reverse of that, where it's like the Sphinx in Oblivia, where that thing always shows up in the daytime.
Rising blaze!
Fire Carnival!
Furious Blast!
Weaken!
Rising flame! Flame grenade!
Nailed it!
Rising blaze!
taking them on alone. Come on, you and me. Change things up. Use the
Assault hammer!
Prepare. Fire furious blast.
Rising blade!
Pepino, where are you going? I'm doing what I do best, running away. See, it worked, didn't it? You're right. Moving on.
Strike first and strike hard. Rising blade! Assault hammer! Got it! Now blast!
Got it in sight!
Fire blast.
The Hanks!
I've got your cover fire.
Got him! Move in and attack!
All or nothing!
Hanging down.
Rising blade!
Alright, then I'll get that one installed, and we're at least good through channel 5, or chapter 5 in terms of where we need to go. At least in terms of getting to the entrances of the following 2 continents. Because we're gonna need to go to those 2 continents sooner. Sylvalum will mainly be going there for Liesel's affinity quest, because I really want that darn Arrestfeld scale, because that thing is really useful. But the nice part is you have to get the original scale first, so it'll be less of a pain in the butt trying to get to Sylvalum at that point. And then Caldros, we don't need to go there until chapter 11, so we probably won't for that long. Feels weird just being like, nope, we're prioritizing just bare bones. We're not doing all this exploring. Not for this run, anyways. Alright, then for Chapter 5, we have to install one at Oblivia's entrance, and that will at least get us pretty much queued up to start Chapter 5. Recommended level is 15. We can always level grind out in the field while we're doing Chapter 4, because we got a bit of a journey once we start that to get to where we need to go in Noctilum. So I could save that for next session, but they'll at least let us start Chapter 4, so that's nice. Alright, that's a wrap-up for today. Alright, so thanks for tuning into the stream. Happy 3 years to the channel, and on to year 4. Let's go find a raid target. Yeah, I was gonna raid the birthday boy, but he understandably went to bed because I know he's still sick. Let's go raid Juker. Alright, cool. So yeah, that'll be the only stream this week, because I'm going to be continuing to do cosplay crafting, so then I'll be back with the full schedule next week. So I'll see you guys then. Take care.
I'm gonna toss that there.